Now I know we are just making little things for Halloween, lacework or whatever you'd like to call it, right? But instead of getting a graphic in this time and doing another graphic, I want to show you something else that we've not broached on before, but can be a very useful thing in lots of different circumstances, but hopefully we can use it right now. Okay, so first off, I am going to get my rectangle out, working in black, because this is Halloween, and I'm just going to make myself a rectangle. Okay, what I want it as an outline, and pick it up. I want it as an outline, and I come up here and lock on because that's what I want it, and I want it to be 4 inches by 4. Take the lock off because I want it to be 4 by 4. Okay, put the lock back on. Right, so I got a 4 by 4 inch hoop, 100% as a 4 by 4 inch hoop in a single run, which we're going to get rid of at the end of the day. But I know the framework now in which I'm working. Okay, so now what do we do? Well, I want to make a spider's web. There's 2 ways of doing this, the hard way and the easy way. Let me see. Let's do it one way and do it another way. Okay, so I am just going to do digitize open shape. Now I need to know, I'm going to put my guidelines, right? Oh, I didn't do that right. Undo. Redo. Right, move my guideline to like being absolutely across the middle. Can't see it. And my guideline across the top. I think in this instance I'm going to take my grid off. No. Oh, I haven't sent it to me, have I? Oh. Here we go. Pick it up. The layout. Auto-centered working. Hit the button. Right, now it's auto-centered and I can see my grid lines. I want to see my grid lines. If I was doing this by 8, be easiest I suppose, but I'm going to have to see how it looks at the end of the day. I'm going back to digitize a open shape, and for the moment just in single run because I am just figuring out in my head of how to draw a spider's web. So I am going to come, I may reduce it at the end of the day, but I'm going to come up here from the tip of that point, holding shift and going into the middle and hit enter. There we are. I've done one line. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. Then I'm going to pick up that line and I'm going to come over to layout. Right, this is things we've never used before, and say circle layout. It's gone nuts now, hasn't it? And up here it says 5. Well, I actually want it to be 9. Right. Now, with my mouse, and I'm making it really big, right? So I can hit that exact centre spot. There we go. Now, I was huge, so my centre's not, but whatever. But I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 replications of that single line. Right, I'm happy with that. Now, what I may want to do, having made it, is say, well, that one as go-go as I liked. So now take the whole thing and go down to auto center to work area, hit enter. Oh, undo. What happened there? Oh, come back here, shift and group, all of that lot, and then come down and say auto center to work area. Right, so that is now, well, was it? Well, it nearly is auto center to work area. Anyway, they're grouped because I don't want to lose them, do I? Right, now meanwhile I can then, so sorry, then I can then bring them in a bit. No, undo. Then I'm going to go back over to my digitize, new, my edit objects, and pick up my knife. We've used this before, picking up the knife, get it nice and big, remembering we're getting rid of this block line, yeah? Right, I'm going to stop there for a moment and go back to select, because the last two things I've done is that one, delete, yeah, and that one, delete, undo, redo, right. They're putting them in odd places. So that one, I want to delete. I should do them one at a time. Okay, back to knife. And go, bring in nice and zoomy. Now they're going to come up under the line that was drawn previously to that. So I am now going to go over to select. Yeah, there's the one I want to select. And delete. What's that one then? I can't see it. Come back out. No. Do you want that one? Don't want that one. Do you want that one? Yeah, I do want that one. Delete. Right? So now back to knife. And bring it up nice and big and go, hello matey. I'm deleting that, and I think that was that one. Nope, might have been that one. Nope, might be. There he is. Now, delete. So you can see how you can, having done that thing, yeah, you can now, and where does that go? Back there? Yeah. And right thing and delete. So I'm just going right back to knife. And I'm going to pull out that one. Right, so where does that go? There, no, there, no. It's that way round, no, that way round. There he is. And now delete. So now I'll come back. Oh, I missed one. Okay, knife. Bimp, delete, bump. Enter. Wouldn't that one, oh, it's got to be that one, hasn't it? Right, okay. Delete. Now, so now I've got my spiraled view. I wanted 9 prongs, but I didn't know where to put them. But doing a spiraled duplication, now I got them. Okay. Now, I'm going to save that. Save as Halloween, and this one I'm going to call spider. Oh, I did what? Web, right? So it's now saved as web. Okay, so let's bring this up now to like 100%. Well, it doesn't matter at the moment, so let's press 0 and get it up as big as we can. Remembering we're going to get rid of the box around the outside anyhow, and these are all in single runs at the moment, and we'll sort that out in a minute when we got up what we want to get, right? So, if you've been watching along with my videos previously, we've already introduced using the knife, okay? But there's another way we can use the knife. And I think, to be honest with you, now we've got the confines of this space, because we are working to about roughly a 4-inch hoop, right? So I am now going to delete that one. So now we're left with this. Okay, and now what we need to do now is to start to make the web. And I am moving from US to metric now. Okay, I don't know why, but I am. Because I rather work in metric when it comes to more intricate things. We've already done the most difficult part. So now, digitize. And what are we going to do? Yes, of course we're digitizing a single run. And it's going to be an open shape, yeah? So it's going to be, and I'm having it on single run for now. We can always come back and we can always change it, yeah? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a point, which is a square point, left click, and somewhere roughly about the middle I'm going to right click, which is going to be a round point. And then I'm going to right click on that edge. There we go. You see how I've made that? Now I'm going to undo that because it's much nicer for me if I do it all in one fell swoop. So, and also I did notice that it didn't quite give me the effect that I wanted. So I'm going to right click, roughly halfway, and then right click and right click, and I'm going to look at that. I don't know whether I like that even. So I'm going to undo that. I mean, at the end of the day, your spider's web is going to be how you want it to be. So now I am just going to use my imagination to make it the way I want it to look. And, you know, all of these things see? Because you have to use a little bit of your own perception to make these things work for you. So I'm now going to save that. Let's save this web, that's fine. So now, obviously, I don't know, what do spiders, how many rungs do spiders have? I don't know. I really don't know. But I'll tell you what I am going to do right now is to take that outline that I've just drawn, yeah, and duplicate it, so there it is again. That. I got 2 here I'm disappointed in, so I am going to select it and reshape. And I'm going to take up that curved bit and bring it in, and I'm going to take up that curved bit and bring it in. Yeah? The rest of it I'm quite happy, right? Alright, okay. And now I'm going to save. The next thing I'm going to do is duplicate that. There we go, got another one. And this time I'm going to go from outline to fill. So I've already got the outline. To Tommy, love it, right? And we're going to say, oh my gosh, spacing. Let's go back to our 3.25. We are working in metric, aren't we? Yeah. 3.25. Yay. There we are. And obviously, as we know, when we're doing netting, 3.25. No, I don't want it this time. I want it 4.5. 5. That's huge, really, in the sight of things. And I'm going to get stitching and say, no underlay, thank you. Nothing buggering me off, right? And then, hang on. Stitch angle 15. So, I want it to be, don't want it to be that at all. I want it to be, I don't know what angle I want it to be. I'm going to go for a moment. I want that. I'm going to go 45. I don't want this cross hatch. It's really weird, isn't it? Because this is actually a spider's web. So I'm going to look at that and I'm still on there. I'm going to say, no, I want it to be 70. Am I on it? Am I not? Oh, yeah, okay. 70 degrees. Yeah, now, actually, that's a better angle. Because, you see, what I'm going to do now, awkward, isn't it? Yeah, I do want it cross that, so I'm going to pick it up again, and I'm duplicating it, and this time I'm going to tell it I want 100 and, I don't know, with diamond shape, 70 and 90 is 160, 170, and I'm going to put 180. That's hatched. No, I want it bigger. So, stitch angle, why don't we stitch angle come out on that one? I want to put it as 200. Oh, this is one of those things where we won't do it unless I save it and come back to it. Saving web, okay. As it turned out, that was a bit of an anomaly with my programme. It wouldn't allow me to do what I wanted to do. Every time I wrote a number in, it wouldn't have it. So I shut it down, broke it back up, and what I found was when I went into reshape, my angle was way off to the left hand side, so I had to go find it, and I managed to put it at this angle. Now this angle is at 54. Now I quite like the look of it, okay, but what I will do now is I'm on the second one, so I'm going back to effects. Where am I wanting to go? Is this going to work for me nicely? Now spacing was at 4. I am now putting that space, I could double it because that's too close for me. If I double it, we'll see what happens. So I'm going to put it at 8. That's better. That's better. So if I go up to the next one and go to fill and say, well, let's put you at 8 as well. All of a sudden I got a better, to me, I got a better, it may not stitch out as well like this, so I may have to rethink it, because it looks more like, no, I do have to rethink it, to be honest with you. If I come to 100% to open weave, no, so I'm going to undo what I just did and leave that as quite, yeah, I'm going to leave that as that sort of weave, alright? Now, the next thing I want to do is naturally, well, I know I've got a line from there to there, I'm going to have to look for it, I can't even bloody find it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hide, I'm going to take up these two, yeah, and I am going to hide selected, right, so I'm back to my normal shape, yeah, no matter what's going on in between it, I'm back to my normal shape. And then I can go over to digitize, again, close shape, right? but in outline. That's what I wanted to do. Single run at the moment. We'll come back and look at it. And then starting at the top, mimicking what kind of was behind it. Yeah. Trying to keep, you know, so it went wrong there. Yeah. You see? So this is, I'm going to continue on now, and I'm going to say, well, so this is how you draw a spider's web, I guess. You know, I'm no expert. I know it goes wrong now. You see? Start where I started. How's that got so wrong? How did that go so wrong? Oh, there's a bit of a... There we go. But, well, apart from that one. Oh, hello, what happened there? Right, select. Reshape. No,
sorry, I don't know that one.
Not you, that one. Reshape. That. That should have been higher. And that should have been over. And that should have been lower. Higher. Higher. Lower. Ah, right, okay. Select. Now, that looks better. I've just drawn myself a spider's web. So, what I'm trying to get across to you, you don't have to always use imported artwork. You can draw on the computer, okay? Okay, so now this is the point in where I am going to unhide everything. So, do you see my original lines that I made have now come back into play? Well, yeah. Well, first off, what was that? From there, I'm going to group that. Group. So I think those were the original lines. Now I want them to be satin. Ooh, yeah, they are, aren't they? Just 1.5 millimeters, if you don't mind. That's far more real. Right, okay. So that was our structure, wasn't it? Got that. This is our outline. Well, we'll come back to that, to be honest. all our bits in between, which are, yeah, from there to there, I want to be a triple run. Yep, that's made them new. Maybe not. Sculpture run, new. Maybe stem stitch, new. Well, back stitch, stem stitch. I like stem stitch, but the spacing is too big. So if I just say it to be 1mm, what happens to that? And if I say the width is only 1mm, there we go. Now I got a back stitch, but I've got a better back stitch than what I started with, but it's more defined, isn't it? Right, remembering we've got to work on a lace background here at some stage, and I still may not be happy with this by the time I finished it. Now, the next thing is, pick up that one. That's out. That is the end of the end, which has got to be satin, and it's going to be 2, right? Because that is the outside of the outside. So now I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it proportionally, and I'm thinking, not quite happy with that. So that bit, what's that bit? No. I'm picking up this bit, which are all the intersecting lines, yeah, and saying, well, you don't need to be that big. You need to be 1. Yay, that's much better. Much happier with that. That's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to save that in case I go completely wrong in a minute. And I'm going to say, well, do you know what? Well, I think that's a good enough mesh, to be honest. Looking at it now, I've over-egged the point. So I'm going to come down to 4 on that one. Yeah. Still a mesh. And what about the one above it? What was that on? 4.5. I'm going to come down to 4 on that one. I just needed to make that mesh a bit bigger. Because otherwise it's not going to support the stitching that I put under there very well. I may have to sew this out, soak it, bring it out and see if it's any good before I'm happy with it. Okay, but what haven't we got? Oh yeah, what haven't we got? We haven't got the spider, have we? So, spider, what does a spider look like? Oh, I don't know. So, circle oval, in outline at the moment. Let's just see what we get. Yeah, yeah, that's about as big as I want them to be. Okay, but I want to do another one. It's a bit bigger. Right, okay. So if I, flipping up, escape, select. If I pick up that bugger and put it on that bugger, bit up from there. Right, how fat are spiders? They're pretty fat, aren't they? And which way do the legs go? They don't have any feelers at the front, but they got like a little mouth at the front. Alright, okay, so if I bring up those two, so I've got them both, what have you, and I say, well, let's do a fill, and let's do it in satin, because these are buggers, aren't they? Right, so there, well, I don't know. I'm just working from my head. There's a spider. Now, how do you know it's a spider? Because it's got 8 flaming legs, hasn't it? So, disc ties, open shape, single run, triple, and I'm going to do it with a triple run, and I am now going to say, oh, yeah, you a nasty little sod. So, starting in there, yeah, and I think your legs are a little bent. They got a 4. Haven't they? They got 4. I think so. Yeah. So now I'll go down and I'll pick up those 4 and group and duplicate. the spider's got 8 legs? I think they have. Duplicate, right? And now those 4 are picked up, I will go mirror and move those 4 to the other side like that. He's nasty, isn't he? What else has spiders got? They've got 8 legs. What else has spiders got? Oh, I don't know. I ought to go look at a picture of a spider, didn't I? Grouping them and right click on it and saying duplicate. Right? Because now they're all on top of one another. Coming up the mirror and saying, oh, well, mirror it that way. Well, there we go. So the last section here, I can then pick up and say, well, we'll group it that way. Does that look like a spider? Yeah. I'm not worried about the legs at the minute. I am thinking that those 2 bits, which I am going to group together now, group somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I only got what? To pick up both. And I'm saying group that lot because I think it's too big. Yeah, so I'm going to hit shift if they move proportionally. But for me, I'm just bringing it down. No, I'm going to bring it down further. Because I'm looking at my web and thinking, that's a more realistic size. I'm not worried about my legs. I'm going to pick up my legs and I'm going to go, well, hello, anybody's. Move over. Move over quite a bit more. Yeah, and then I'm going to ungroup. I'll just do it one side first. Ungroup, yeah. So now I can move them individually and I can say, right, well, you need to hit on that target. Well, I'm not sure whether you're actually there, but I'm going to move you. You look like you're there, but I'm going to move you a couple more millimeters, yeah? Now I look at you, and you're a bit thin for what I want. However, what I am going to do now is I'm going to hit shift, pick them all up. So this was the original 4. Yeah. I am going to regroup. There they are. This lot I am going to delete because now I've decided that's better for me. So this lot that I had originally said, I'm going to say, oh, now duplicate that and whip it round to being over that side, and let's take one that shouldn't be there. So, you know, let's put it on that side. Me, I'm very happy with that now. That's more of a spider to me, although I do think, oh, hang on, go save before my program cuts out on me. I do want to do a little nastiness for his mouth. So I am going to go and do this size open shape. And this time, I'm going to do it in a bit of satin. Oh, I don't want it 3mm. Oh my God, that's going to be huge. I want to do it in 1.5. Right, before I even start. And I'm going to bring it up nice and big. I don't know what I'm going to do with these legs yet. I might make them different. I gotta, you know, look at things. But, like, not being funny, I'm going to make it up. They got a vicious bloody gob on them. Oh, right. Now I've made it that big, I'll come back and I'll pick it up and say, ooh, no. Ooh, no. I should definitely put that as 1mm. No. Even... Come out. I'm going to say that for a minute. save that, and I'm going to come out, and I'm going to look at, oh, actually, that works for me. Vicious Nasty Cops. But you know what doesn't work for me? Those legs. I got those legs. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? I picked backstitch. Okay, so now I'm going to pick those legs up and say that's backstitch too. Actually, I quite like that. Now, the body of the spider... No, save before you forget, girl. Right, the body of the spider looks okay, doesn't it? That's them both, or whatever. Into tatami, but I'm going to say... we're not. I'm going to put you in satin. Then I'm going to put you in embossed satin. And I'm going to go down and open up my embossed satin to say what is really creepy. I'm looking for some... quite ooh, yeah, I'm picking that one. That's triangle 3 on my program, right? That looks quite creepy to me. I don't know about you, but that looks even... But then I'm looking at the overall thing, yeah? The overall thing is still too big for my web that I've made to the left. So I'm happy with that, so let's go and save that before we get any further problems. I'm going to pick up that, I'm going to pick up, there's 2 oojits, and effects, I'm going to go to effects, and I'm going to say both sides, feather it a little bit, and then I'm going to pick it, feather it a bit more, yeah, it's not working, is it? It's not having the desired effect that I want. Undo. That's about as creepy as it will go. So that's a low. There's things that I could play with it and you can play with, but that's about as creepy as I can go with it. But now, looking at things at more or less 100%, I still think, although this is only a representation, but I still think he's a bit big for... So now I've just circled him and highlighted everything to do with the spider, which I then could group. Yeah, I think I should. I'll go over here and I will group. Yeah, and then click off it, click back on it. So I've got my black point of views up. So now I can make it a little bit smaller. Yeah. A bit more. Right. Okay, that's more of a reasonable size to be on that web, isn't it? Now, I have seen lots of webs that have got a spider dangling off it. I don't want that because... yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Okay, you've got to look at it. A lot of it isn't going to show, is it? So I think... But it kind of is. I don't know. It kind of is. But there we are. I'm not going to do a dangly spider because it won't work on lace. This is lace work at the end of the day. Alright, I'm going to save this. I'm going to have to stitch this out to see if it flipping works. So save. Anyway, that's my version of a freehand web. If you made the web backing, the lace, the net behind the lace, any bigger, it wouldn't hold the sides. So I'm going to try this before I do anything else. Let's see what happens.